Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video here, and my name is Margaret, and some people call me Missy, some people call me MJ or Missy J, which is all fine with me because those are my nicknames, of course. And if you like this channel or what you watch or listen here, feel free to subscribe, like, share, because it will help my channel a lot so that we can spread the message around. Yes, so what I wanted to discuss with you today is the subject of fear. And why did I choose this subject? Well, I've chosen it because I realized that most of us, or some of us, are in a prison, okay? And this prison is the prison called fear. And we tend to become afraid of what we need to do to be where we want to be in life. Sometimes we are totally afraid simply because we are concerned about what people will think about us, or the consequences, or the pros and cons. And sometimes the pros and cons is that you weigh it up and you keep weighing it up, and at the end of the day, nothing really happens, okay? Sometimes the things that you feel like if you do, people will talk about, is exactly what you need to do. We end up putting ourselves in prison. And this prison, we love it because at the end of the day, we make our own rules. The rules we make is nobody can judge me, but what we all have to understand is whatever you do, whatever I do, people are going to judge you. People are going to say something. And so, it is just best to just get on with it, really. I, for one, I have been through certain things that I realized that I had put myself in this perfect prison. And this perfect prison was the things I've just mentioned above. Other people, what people will think about, the fear of what people think of you, what people will say about you, how things are going to look, how you're going to look, all these things going through your mind. But the fact is, sometimes if you don't face your fear, you will never get to the point you want to be in life. Maybe you are afraid to take a certain step, because you are concerned that if you take the step, people are going to say certain things. And so you are afraid that they may not approve. But the fact is, who really cares? Sometimes you will take the step and you realize that nobody really cares. Nobody is really going to gossip about you in a negative way. Sometimes gossip is good. And if people gossip about you, it makes you learn something about yourself anyway. I'm not going to say gossip is a good thing, but what we can all learn from people who gossip is that they tend to say things about us that makes us realize, oh, this is who I actually am. I can do this, I can do that. I didn't realize that someone is looking at me in this way. Okay, so if you are afraid of what you want, it means you don't really want it. Why? Because you are telling yourself that you don't deserve to get this or to get that. Maybe you are looking to be in a relationship, but you are afraid of what people are going to say. And so you succumb to what other people expect of you. That is fear. This is the prison that you have put yourself. But you have, subconsciously allow people to put you in that prison. But you think that you have chosen. No, you have chosen what they have chosen for you. At the end of the day, if you don't go with what is right for you, they are the same people who will say that, well, you know what is best for you, so why didn't you do it? Because it doesn't matter what I say, what you say in your life is final. But the thing is, they already knew that. Why were they trying to tell you what to do in the first place? And sometimes we also have to understand that we have to be responsible for the things we are afraid of. Why are you afraid, or why are you scared of taking a step? Sometimes you need to weigh up the pros and cons of the reason why you are afraid. Okay? After you've written down all the reasons why you are afraid of what you are afraid of, ask yourself, is it worth me taking this chance? If I take this chance, what is the worst case scenario for me? Why did I want this thing in the first place? Of course, you need to weigh the pros and cons. After you've weighed everything and you come to the conclusion that, okay, this is what I want, this is where I want to be in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, but you are afraid to take the steps that you need to take. So you are telling the universe that you don't even want it. And the universe is going to be like, well, if she doesn't want it, you need to pass the test. Once you've passed the test, then you can get what you desire. But if you don't face your fears, don't think that the universe is just going to, bring you exactly what you want. You sometimes have to fight for what you want. Fight the fear by telling the fear to come to you. If fear knocks on your door and comes to you, he says, what's your name? He says, I'm fear. I'm the fear of gossip. I'm the fear of success. I'm the fear of failure. Let the fear tell you their name. And you say to fear, come and sit down. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want beverage? Do you want water? I'm going to make you very, very comfortable because I've been feeding you all this while. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to actually feed you with my best and favorite food. And you feed your fear. And your fear is just with you. Everywhere you go, he or she is with you. If you feel your fear is female or male, he or she is with you all the time. But you think that you've put the fear behind the door. No, the fear, you've already welcomed the fear and you are living with your fear. And this is why you haven't been able to go to where you want to go. But, I, for one, there are certain things in my life that I felt I didn't want to face certain situations. I just didn't want that to happen to me. It's like my worst case scenario in my life. But guess what? I have been through all the things that I was so worried that would happen to me. The things I feared would happen to me. The things I was so scared about. All of it has happened to me. And what I found strange was my own attitude when those things happened to me. It's like, when it happened to me, it's like, why was I afraid in the first place? Why? Why was I scared in the first place? Why was I even bothered in the first place? I was shocked at my own reaction because although I had a strength within me to fight the situation, I just thought it would be best that I don't even encounter this particular situation. There are certain people in your life, there was this particular person in my life, I never want to cross words with them because of one reason or the other. I didn't want to have any fight, any misunderstanding. I've done everything I could for this person. And I felt it didn't matter what I did, wasn't good enough for them. And so I really wanted to avoid any unnecessary conflict. But guess what? The worst case scenario happened. And what did I do? I felt like after all this while, I'm worried about this and this has still happened. And when it happened, believe me, I was the strongest person ever. Because what shocked me was my own reaction. Trust me, once it happened, when they say I couldn't give a damn that it had happened, in fact, I was actually happy that this thing had happened to me because I thought, because this has happened to me, now I can do this, now I can do that, now this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes you can't avoid it, you can't avoid it. And I was thinking, if I had faced my fear 10 years ago, life would have been totally different for me. Everything that I was looking to do, everything I was hoping to achieve, I could have achieved that 10 years ago Why didn't I just allow why didn't I just allow myself to face my fear? I invited my fear in. I invited her, gave her toast, gave her tea, gave her coffee, gave her all my sweet drinks. I gave her all my chips and my crisps, everything. And she was eating it and getting bigger in my life. And once I decided that, I've had enough of you, yes, it came to a point I said to myself, if I don't face my fear now, when am I going to face it? Every day I get older. 10 years ago, if I had faced this situation wouldn't have been like that. And of course, it brings a different side of yourself to you, And I'm sorry I'm getting a bit excited now because what can you do? Sometimes you just have to evaluate, what you are afraid of. Is it worth being in that prison? If you are looking to go to university, don't think that some people will, be jealous of you if you are looking to do a certain type of job. Yeah, I for one had wanted to have a channel, but I didn't want to show my face, not because I just didn't like the fact that I wanted to show my face, because I thought people would criticize me. But I've come to a point, let them criticize me anyway, because it's like I said, you invite your fear in because you think that you have put your fear in the box. No, you have not put your fear in the box. Your fear has come into your life and put you in the box. He or she is dictating to you how your life is going to be, how terrible your future is going to be if you don't face him or her or it. Yeah, we have to face our fears, because if we don't face our fears, we are never going to go to the other side. Okay, in life we all are going to face challenges, and I realize that if I don't face my challenge now, it will go and come back, and I'll still have to handle it 10 or 20 years down the line. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to tell the fear, okay, if any problem, whatever your fear is, knocks on the door, says, what's your name? It says, I'm the fear of such and such. Okay, you sit here, give me 2 minutes, let me put myself together. You make a list of everything you need to make a list of, and you say, you sit down, fear, this is what I'm going to do. I want you to be comfortable for the next 15 minutes. Sit down, look at what you want to do about this situation. Think, when am I going to face this fear? Am I going to face it like now? Am I going to face it in 10 years time? Am I going to face it tomorrow? Hey, I would face it now, because I realized that all this time that I was concerned about what will go wrong, believe me, anytime I faced any problem that I was trying to avoid, anytime I faced it, believe me, I'm not going to kid you, it added to my strength. It added to how confident I could be. It added to my courage. It added to, I'm like, why was I even worried? Why? Because the way I handled the problems that I thought was my fear, the way I handled it is what shocked me. I simply couldn't be bothered when it happened, because I was afraid all this time, and then when it happened, it's like, yeah, whatever, whatever. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I had this particular problem with this person. I was rather thinking of what I was going to do in my hair. That's the funny thing. I was concerned about how I'm going to decorate this, how I'm going to do this. The problem that I thought I had all these years and that I didn't want to face, when it came crashing down and I couldn't avoid it, what did I do? It was the least problem for me, because I was really thinking of other things that had nothing to do with the situation that I thought was a problem for me. So What am I saying? Just let's face our fear. Because if you face your fear, you will get it over and done with. Because weighing the pros and cons, what can happen? People are going to say this or say that. Yes, if you do it, they'll say it. If you don't do it, they'll say it. So just get on with it. Okay, just get on with it. If you feel you haven't got the tools to face your fears, find someone who can help you to face your fears, the right person. If you feel there are people in your orbit, like friends, family, that you feel like you can't trust them completely, get professional help and face it. Because if you don't face it now, you have to face it later on. And if it's something that you don't address, there are certain situations in your life, if you don't address it now and you leave it for some years to come, maybe you have children down the line, your children are going to have to bear that problem. And if you can't deal with it, how do you expect them to deal with the problem? Some situations need to be dealt with now, because if you deal with them now, next time when they come, you know, the last time I used my sword, this time I'm going to use my cup and my sword, and this is how I'm going to solve this problem. Next time, you know that this is the situation that you are facing. However, you have had something similar before, and so how are you going to approach it? Okay, last time this is what I did, last time this is what I did. But if you don't face it now, when you face a particular situation, it will be just too much for you. You have to understand, every day we are getting older. We get older every day. And if we are not careful how we approach our problems or how we deal with our problems, it will become a burden for the next generation. Certain situations need to be cut off. And if you are afraid to sort it out, who should sort it out? Maybe your children, maybe someone else in the family. And if they don't know the best way to do it, that could also cause other problems. But I'm talking about your personal problems. Okay? Don't pass on your personal problems and personal fears to your children or your grandchildren. Because if you don't sort it now, one way or the other, is going to become a problem. Because, for example, you're looking for a certain job, and you think that people are going to say that, oh, in this family, we don't do this type of job. But maybe deep down your heart, you feel this is the job that you want to do. And you are afraid that, oh, if I do it, maybe I'll become too successful and people will hate me, so I will do something else. Okay, that is up to you. But do you think that they really are bothered? No. Some people want you to be at a certain level because it suits them. It suits them. And if you face your fears, they'll talk about you. If you don't face your fears, they'll still talk about you. Okay? So the worst thing I find is if you run away from your problems becomes higher, bigger. Your fear is like you think that you have put yourself in this perfect prison, this prison of fear. And you feel like, oh my God, this is what I can do to, to keep everyone liking me. And people are going to feel like I'm the best man or woman or person here. No, you cannot continue to make people happy, because there are people from certain part of the world who may not like you. There are certain people from the part of the world who may like you for the same reason, for whoever you are. And in this life, you can't expect everyone to like you. If everyone likes you, you have to be very careful. Why is it that you have no one challenging you? Okay, if there's no challenges in your life, it means that, maybe in another life you were so perfect, and in this life you are going to walk through just like that. But even lucky people do have a bit of challenge, because challenge or fear comes to strengthen us. Okay, and so don't let the fear put you in prison, or don't think that you are in charge of this prison, because when fear knocked on your door, you said, hello, come in, come and take a seat. You started feeding the fear. Every year you are feeding the fear. Every month you are feeding the fear. By the time you know it's 10 years, you're still feeding the fear. Now the fear is bigger than you in your head. It's going everywhere with you. So because of that fear, anything that comes in, you add it to your fear box. No, the fear has added you to its box. You think it's a perfect prison because you've made the laws and the rules there and everything is going your way. No, it's not going your way, because one way or the other, it is still eating you within yourself. Because it's eating you within yourself, you are not in charge. Everything else is in charge but you. So don't think that if you run away from the problem, it's going to go away. If you have to face a certain problem, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll be the one to face it. Nobody else is going to face it for you. Nobody else is going to save you. Nobody else is going to do anything else for you. If it's up to you to do something, you'll be the one to do it. Okay? You can wait 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You will still have to do it. You can avoid it all you want. But if the universe says this is unavoidable and you have to do it, believe me, you will go round and round and round and round. Even if it's 50 years, you still face it. That is how I see it. Because all the problems that I thought I didn't want to face, I faced all of it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you all of it now. Yeah, I don't feel like telling all of it, but I've told you one already, you know. But like I'm telling you, when the problem happened, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to face it. I'm going to face it. I've been putting this away for a long time. I think it doesn't matter what I do, I cannot escape this situation. So I'm going to face it. Now you go and you tap on the shoulder of fear. You say, fear, come closer, come closer. Today we stand face to face, and I'm going to fight you. And I'm going to fight you from here. So all I want to tell you is, I want to encourage you that whatever your fear is, you need to face it. Because if you don't face it now, nobody owns time. Time is not our friend and time is not our enemy. But we don't own it. So we've got to use it and use it wisely. Sometimes we think that, someone is coming to save us. But if even someone comes to save you from your fear, and you still have this fear, they can't save you because it's all here. It's all here. If you are not ready to be helped, you can't help yourself. Who's going to help you? Because it doesn't matter what you do. It's like nobody can crack your head open and remove that fear out of you. You have to face it, But my shock is when I was faced with the most challenging situations in my life. Believe me, people, I dressed up, put on my lip gloss, I wore my jeans, wore my trainers, I went out for a walk, and I just thought, this is the best day of my life. The best day of my life, because finally it was like, all the weight of this situation is gone. So now that I face it, it's gone. Okay, now I have this under my belt. Now I know that I am experienced in this situation, and next time if this situation comes anywhere, I know that I'm not even going to let that fear or this situation knock on my door. If I see it within a mile, within my window, I'm going to face it. I am going to go there and face it. Because if I don't face it, I don't want it coming and then looking for some crisp to eat and looking for whatever. No, there won't be any drinks. There won't be nothing. I won't be serving my fear. Fear of this, fear of that. I won't be serving Miss Fear. No. Miss Fear, 5 miles away, go and face the fear. I'm not even going to say come here. I'm coming to you. Sometimes it is tough. It is tough. And don't feel like, you don't have the support of everyone. No, you have the support of the universe. Just close your eyes and focus on what you want to do. Speak to the universe that this is what you want to achieve. You want the support of the universe. And the universe will surprise you, because once you are ready to face whatever you want to face, it will shock you. Everybody who is meant to come your path or your way to help you, you will just see that they'll be coming into your life all of a sudden, and you wouldn't even know how that happened. Because when I was in the situations that was really unhealthy for me, and I was trying to avoid my problems, when the problems happen and I faced them, believe me, I had all the help and the support I needed from the places I never thought would come. And so I have learned that, I can't harbor my fear. If I have any concern, fair enough. But you need to address it and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to sit here, look at, this is the problem I have got. I'm going to sit here and see how I'm going to deal with it. Do I need professional help? Do I just need to face it by myself? Do I need support from family? Do I need support from friends? And sometimes if you don't tell people what your problems are or your concerns are, nobody is going to help you. You know what I mean? So don't keep the fear within. Get help. Okay? Get help. Professional help, or, join some groups, or, the right groups that will help you to grow spiritually. Okay? Because if you were able to, join the right groups online or, in person, whatever you're doing, believe me, you will overcome it eventually. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen straight away. Some people, you deal with it, you of course you are concerned. How is it going to go? But don't think of how is it going to go. Think of why you want to deal with it. Do you want to deal with it because you are short? Yes. Do you want to deal with it because you are tall? Yes, because the fact is maybe you are a tall person. A certain particular situation needs to be addressed because of your height. For example, just make an example. If you're a tall person and you want to go to a shop, you know that there are certain places you can buy the outfits you want. You have to go to a certain shop because maybe the area where you live, okay, is the clothing there is for certain people of the average size. This is just an example. Don't be afraid that I'm the tallest person here and I can't get the best outfits to wear. Okay, so this is my problem. I'll go to the next town and go and buy the things I need. I'm just saying that's an example. This could be a fear of anything. But I'm just saying that, you want to face the fear because it is something that you can't avoid. But you're avoiding it. You have to face it. If you don't face it, what are you going to do? If you don't face it now, one way or the other, you will have to face it. Once you face it and you get it over and done with, you gain more experience. So don't stay in your perfect prison. If you need help, ask for help. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask for help. And sometimes that is the fear of asking people for help. And if you feel asking people for help, then ask a professional for help. Wherever you live, I'm sure that, maybe you can go to the council, people who are there to advise you in the community. Okay, I'm sure some places when you go, the first time you go and see someone, maybe it's free. I don't know. But some places, in some parts of the world, it is free. They'll give you the basic advice you need, and they can show you where to go. Because if you don't face your problem, believe me, I've had friends who have had certain problems, and for them it's the biggest problem. And for me, I'm thinking, why is this a problem? But the thing is, everyone's emotion is different. Everyone's emotional level is different. Everyone's mental level of coping with situation is different. We need to be supportive of people who come to us and say that they need our help. Because if we are not willing to help them, they are going to keep the fear, and in the end, eventually, we could suffer the fear they have, because that fear could lead to something that could be more damaging to them, to the community. You have to understand, fear can bring mental illness, emotional illness. It can lead people to the wrong direction. So if you need help, please do get help, okay? And don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to ask for help, because sometimes the worst thing you think you are doing is asking for help. You think that's the worst thing to do, but sometimes it's the best thing to do, because once you acknowledge you need help and you ask for help, that is when your fear starts to go. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope to bring you another message, another news, or something else. Okay, so I would like to say thank you very much for joining me here today. Please like, share, and yes, I will be back with another story, okay, or another video. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the